I've just spent 30 minutes trying to come up with an intro for my new part or my new series of episodes for my YouTube channel, which I want to talk about life. I want to just talk. I just want to say stuff, my thoughts, my personal opinions on the world. And then that's when I realized something. Maybe the best way to roll into a video or start a video is just to go right into it. Listen, you don't know my name, you don't know who I am. Just for now, think of me as perhaps a stranger, maybe a friend, just talking about his thoughts about what's going on currently in this world. Just to let you know, if my voice sounds funny and while you're listening to this, just I do not sound like that, understand? But anyway, start talking. So I feel like as this is being my first episode, I was thinking of maybe talking about something, psychological, something like very deep meaning, about life. I mean, and I feel like one thing that's really important are friends. Well, many people interpret the word friend very differently. I mean, for myself, I feel comfort, sense of assurance, happiness. And of course, this is different depending on the person, but basically for me, uh, I feel like friends, no matter if you're an introvert or an extrovert or whoever you are, if you're not social or you are social, like everyone needs friends. It's just the basic essence of life. And there are I think a majority two main reasons. I think it's, you feel happiness, you can hang out with them. They also support you. And this of course aids, you know, it helps your social interactions on a daily basis. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of like friends help you interact with people because in life we're going to meet random people even for maybe a minute or two, and we have to interact with them without being you know, awkward perhaps. But everyone's different. It's just depending on the how it's like it really depends on the person and also the pace. Because for people who may be a bit more shy, it's of course going to take longer to make friends. Because the process of making friends can be very random, spontaneous, or it can happen gradually. I mean, personally, I have experiences in both aspects. I mean, as I went to, because now as I started high school, I kind of just, came in that day. I think I had biology class or something, and there was this girl sitting next to me. She was also new, I'm sure. And for some reason, I just started talking, saying, "Oh, where are you from?" Like that stuff. Yeah, just talking. And for gradually 3 weeks, perhaps, we became friends. And I mean, that can happen gradually over time. Yet, also it's spontaneous. And also, that same day, um, I was kind of just, in lunch. I didn't know what to do since I didn't really know anyone. I was just dragged to a table full of a friend group. I was dragged by one person, and we kind of just hit it off. We just started talking about random things, you know, and they're telling me stories, and that was completely random, and that happened within 5 or 10 minutes, and 6 months later, like we're good friends, all of them, we're good friends. And my personal opinion, I believe they're one of the best friends I've ever had. They're amazing. They support, you know, each other and support myself, of course. They're very considerate. And I think that's also another thing we need to talk about. What is a good friend and a bad friend? Because I think that's the issue with modern society, especially when we have such social media apps where we may be exposed to a wide range of people. And That's good. Of course, that aids our social interactions, but that can be also bad since we don't know whether if they have good intentions or bad intentions. And for me, a good friend is someone who's always by your side. Someone you can always text. They will help you. They will respond. They will never make you feel bad. And when you're around them, you feel comfort. You feel a sense of assurance, as I said before, and you feel just happy. You feel like you can talk to them about anything, any worries you have. Like for instance, I had exams. I feel like I didn't do so great on a math one, and I was kind of like, as I got out that classroom, closing that door behind me, knowing that, oh shoot. But then I saw my friend. I'm not gonna say names, of course, but he was in the hallway towards my right, and as I was going to, going towards them, it was a group. It was a group. They, I was really down, and they could sense that. And I did tell them about what was bothering me, and they said, "Don't worry, everything's fine." And I believed them because, that's what friends make you believe in certain things because you always surround them, you trust them. However, this can also have a negative impact, especially if those friends are not good friends and they want to make you feel bad. Because if you trust them, because a friend is someone you trust, if they say something bad, you will believe it, and that can have negative externalities. And of course, this is very psychological. I'm not even doing psychology. It's honestly just common sense, honestly, for someone who has a good mental understanding or a good understanding of how we interact with friends and all. I think that's really important. You need to surround yourself with good people. My friends, they motivate me to do better in my school. They motivate me to do better in my grades. And I think that's essential, especially if you want to succeed in life. Having friends is essential. I'm just going to say that, understand? But now, sometimes when people don't have good friends and they surround themselves with bad people, and listen, my definition of a bad friend can be very different towards what you or whatever the audience thinks. But that's the thing. Your interpretation may be different from mine, and you, or maybe some other person, I don't know, without knowing, they may not have good friends. And they don't know that. They don't realize it. Because remember, as I said numerous times, we interpret things differently. So this is why it's really important for counselors, for whatever school faculty, teachers to realize whether whether that student is surrounding with good or bad friends, or whether that are positive influence. And I think in these last year, 6 months, I've been really fortunate. I think I've had really good friends. I'm happy. And if you want to know my perspective, I think a bad friend is someone who makes you feel bad, or when I mean by that, you don't feel comfortable. You can't say anything. And when I mean by you can't say anything, like you can't share your worries because you're scared they're gonna make fun of you or whatever. And that you don't feel free to speak, you understand? I feel like that's a bad friend. Or a bad friend is someone who, does not listen to you, who pushes you aside, focuses on other people, and yeah. But hey, that's my view. But now, after speaking about good and bad friends, I feel like also another aspect we need to talk about is how many friends you have. Because honestly, I've had personal experience. Because honestly, I feel like having one best friend is not, it's good. Like you have each other. But I would honestly prefer a friend group consisting of 5 to 6 people. And here's my reasoning. This is my reason. It's a nice inner circle. It's a nice group of people. You can interact with all of them. And we're all friends together. So we're obviously going to do stuff. It's just better to interact with more people. However, this can also be a downside, because if you have more than one friend group, like multiple friend groups, it can get a bit stressful because you have to dedicate time towards all of them. And I've had issues in my previous school. I used to have more than like 2 friend groups, and it was stressful. It got to a point where I had to choose whether to hang out with one or the other, and that caused me some serious trouble because I didn't tell the other one why. And on that same day, we went to the mall, and my other friend group was there, and it got ugly. And it was pretty bad. About like they didn't talk to me for a month, and that was a very stressful point in my life because that's when I realized that having too many friends, too many friend groups, doesn't allow you to become close friends with either group. It just makes you a mutual friend. And this is why I strongly recommend to kind of stick to a certain group of people. You can obviously talk to other groups. I encourage that. You should talk to everyone. But of course, it's also maintaining that close connection to the group of friends you want to be with. And this is your choice. You maybe want to be friends with multiple friend groups. I did that. It didn't work out for me. Maybe it'll work out for you. But that's my personal opinion. And I think that's pretty much it. We've talked about the social essence of why we need friends. What's a good, bad friend? Whether it's good to be very social or not social. But I mean, listen, no matter what, it's good to have friends. You should not be studying all day you just can't do that. You need to go out. You need to spend a little bit of time. Of course, you can't spend too much time because I recommend you get good grades. I've been trying to do that, you know? But have a good balance. It's always good to have balance, you know? I think this was a good first episode. Wonder what's going to be next. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, like the video, and hope you enjoyed the first episode of. Yeah, I'm still thinking of a name. I was thinking of Life Talks or My Thoughts in My World or something like that. But the title I'll get back. Anyway, episode 1 done.